Do you hate your life right now? Well, then you're in the majority of people in the world who hate their lives but don't admit it. Do you love your life right now? Congratulations. You're in a very small group of people who love their lives. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter if you hate your life or love your life. Keep your life. Stay alive. Don't kill yourself. Love your life. Because if you don't love your life, there's only two things that are going to happen. As you'll end up going to your own funeral, and to the funerals of people you love. So love your life no matter how tough it is, because you don't know how tough the next one will be. Love your life now.
You only live twice, or so it seems. One life for yourself, one for your dream. You drift through the years, and life seems time till one dream appears. Love is its name, and love is a stranger who beckons you on. Don't think of the danger of a stranger is gone. This dream is for you, so pay the price. Make one dream come true. You only live twice, and love is a stranger who beckons you on. Don't think of the danger of a stranger is gone. This dream is for you, so pay the price. Make one dream come true. You only live twice.
Hello. Here's a selection of true stories, mostly between me and Dorky Distil, others not related, but still interesting. Enjoy, have a nice weekend. Cheers. So here's the most important, I think, the most important story of the 20th century, even though it happened more than once during the 20th century and it happened many times before the 20th century. But let's talk about this one. And I cannot talk about all of them because they're all different. But there's a few things that remain the same. There are four brothers, as you know, Michael, Daniel, Azazel, Gabriel. And as you know, if you've been here long enough, at the age of 13, three brothers are contacted, Azazel, Daniel, and Gabriel. Not Michael, because as you know, if you've been here long enough, when the goddess talked with the four brothers and told them what they had to do on earth as Carishus, the four brothers, the only one that said will not serve as a man amongst men was Michael. He wanted to serve as a god amongst men, not a man amongst men, like Azazel, Daniel, and Gabriel. Agreed. Michael, Dorky Distil, said no. I will not serve as a man amongst men. I will serve as a god amongst men. And so it was, the goddess agreed, none of my business. And so, like I've told you before, a few times in the last 14, 15 years, when the three brothers, Azazel, Daniel, Gabriel, turned 13, the day of their birthday, every life, Michael shows up. And we are born at different times, but he shows up. And he introduces us to the cause, because we are born with no knowledge, or barely. We are born with feelings, sensations, with sensations of truth. We're not sure. Well, we know that we're not like the others. We're not like the neighbor, the schoolmates. We know. We're just waiting. And we know we're waiting. These three brothers. When we turn 13, Michael shows up. Now, in this life, this is why I'm choosing this story and not stories from before, but this story, my lifetime. This happened in 3rd of September of 1980, when I turned 13. I was at the time, as you know, and if you don't, you know now, but most of you know that I grew up between Portugal, Tomar, the city of Tomar, the capital of the Templar Knights, or the Knights Templar, however you want to call it, and Bolzano in Italy, because my father was Italian, my mother was Portuguese, so I was always jumping from place to place, among other places, Spain, France, Morocco, everywhere, Africa, different places. And so when I turned 13, he shows up, 3rd of September, 1980. I was playing football, or some called soccer, near my house, 100 meters, 300 feet from my house, behind the courthouse. I was in Portugal at the time, by the way. This one didn't happen in Italy, in Bolzano, it happened in Portugal. And I was there, my best friends and neighbors or kids, playing football. And suddenly, was like you'd see in the movies. It's caravan of black SUVs or vans or big black cars just stopped right beside. We were playing football, and it raised eyebrows amongst us all kids, because you don't see it was not it's not something you see every day. Even now we don't see it every day. Back in the days, not at all. And those I think it was like 4 or 5 black huge vans, big cars, and so we were playing football, and we stopped. I was playing as a goalie. I was a goalie, so I didn't have to stop. I already stopped. But everybody that was playing football and with the ball, what's going on here? And they stayed there for about 5 minutes. Just stay there, park right beside. We were playing. Didn't say a word, and the windows didn't roll down. Just there. And after those 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I don't remember. I was young. They moved around the corner. All of the vehicles except one. All of the vehicles moved. Then one went behind those vehicles, but then it stopped in a place that they could see us. They could see us, and the window rolled down. And a person inside said, "Come here." And I was on the opposite side of the field, so I thought it has nothing to do with me. I don't know. We thought maybe it's the police or something. We didn't know. We were just kids. And he called, "Come here." So the closest guy to that vehicle was the goalie, the opposite on the other side of the field. And he called, "No, something." And then that goalie came running to me and said, "They want to talk with you." What? But even at that age of 13, I was already a rebel, like, okay, I'll go there. So I went there to that dark black vehicle with dark windows with unknown people inside. Like, why not? And these guys want. And so I went to the window, and this person happened to have a beard. Doesn't have a beard all the time, by the way. And said, "I need to talk with you. Get in the car." Freaky thing, very freaky. For, a black, huge vehicle with black windows, tinted windows, and for some bearded guy telling you, "Get in the car." Well, I did it anyway. I didn't feel afraid. I felt at peace. I didn't feel like there was any danger. I knew it was weird, it was strange for someone to invite me to get into a dark car and all that. But I didn't feel afraid or anything. So I got in the car. The car drove, went around the corner, stopped. And stopped. And it was stopped right in front of my house. Anyway, so that person with the beard asked me, "Do you know who I am?" No, I have no idea who you are. And he said, "Can I touch your arm?" Sure, touch my arm. Touch my left arm. And then he said, "Can I push your wrist?" I don't remember the words. It's like 30, almost 40 years ago. They're like, "Can I push your wrist?" Okay. You're not touching me anywhere freaky. Like, you want to touch my arm? Okay. And again, I remind you, I never felt in danger or anything. It was, the feeling inside was not of threat, of danger, of freakiness. No. And as it did, I felt this energy coming through me. Not like an injection or anything, just energy. Okay. And once that was over, feel of energy up and down. Like you get a shock, an electrical shock, but not such strong that you go, no, just you feel like this energy in you. And get your, the hair, the back of your neck raise, but not painful. Anyway, then he said, I want to talk with you. And I said, okay. It's my birthday, eh? My birthday. And then he talked, and he talked, and he talked, and he told me about the Carishes and Jupiter and old stuff, and the four brothers, and the Anunnaki, and the goddess, and he went on and on and on and on and on and on and on for a long time. Long time, maybe an hour, maybe more, maybe 2 hours, maybe it was even more. I remember it was a long time, but I don't remember how long. And the car inside, those taxis that have a division between the driver and the back seat. Yeah, the car had it too, and that division, dark window, painted window. And he said after that long conversation, which was not a conversation, was a soliloquy. He was talking and I was listening. And it didn't come across as nothing strange. And he was talking about very strange things to a 13-year-old kid. But to me, it was not strange. It was almost as if I was expecting, or at least not surprised, for the revelation. Okay. Then he asked, I want to show you something. That's when the window dividing the front to the back came down and introduced me to the Kurs. And the Kurs are freaky looking. They don't look like humans, even though they can. They can look like humans, Kurs. And I've already showed you like how the Kurs look like for our standards of beauty, or at least not freaky. They're freaky in their normal appearance according to our standards, and they were freaky looking to me that day. But very soon I realized that they're not freaky at all. Looks are looks. And it was the first time I saw the Kurs, and not the Kurs, one Kurs. And this is the one who asked me in Portuguese, not in Italian, not in French, not in any kind of alien, not in Caristos, nothing. It's in Portuguese, plain Portuguese. Can I touch your left wrist? Sure. And so he, no needles, no nothing. He touched, and I felt three things going through my skin into my wrist.
Владимир Владимирович, система у нас такая будет. Если позволите, мы так чуть-чуть покомандуем, да? Можно?
Можно.
Договорились.
Владимир Владимирович, сколько времени сейчас?
Сейчас без 20, полночь.
А у вас нет
Без 20, 12.
На руках часов нет?
Есть.
А на какой руке?
На правой.
На правой. Вы левша?
Нет, я не левша, но просто я люблю часы носить на руке так близко к запястью. И заводная головка, она, если на левой руке носить часы, она задевает кисть.
Но говорят, сейчас модно в Кремле носить на правой руке.
Первый раз слышу, не знаю,
Мы прочитали сегодня в газете.
не знаю.
Новая
Может быть, может быть, не знаю.
Скажите, а что буквально?
Вы хотели, чтобы я посмотрел на
Да,
часы? Я так и понял. Раз.
Пойду.
Within seconds, within seconds, all the things I didn't know but suspected became true. All the memories of past lives were there. It was not like a dream. It was like watching a movie. You see, you hear, you know. You will not remember everything that's been shown to you. You know, it's like if you watch 10 movies in one single day, you remember the main plot of all 10 movies, but you don't remember all the details, all the sentences, all the actors. Same thing, but go 17,000 years of information. I remember everything. It was just a confirmation of what I already suspected, but did not accept. And even the things I accepted, I did not believe. But from that moment on, it's not a question of believing, you know. You're part of it. So that's those 3 implants. Over the years, I got then one more, another more. Right now, I have 10 of these implants. But over the last 30, almost 40 years, all 10 became just one. Because I had 3 that were given to me, I showed them the photos. I got another one, sometimes 2, then another one over all these decades. Now I only have 1. This one. You see? This one has all the other 10 and more inside. So, you know, because otherwise you'll just have a bunch of bumps on your arms, which is weird. And I don't think they do this, the course, for aesthetics, so that you don't look bad. It's just the way that they work. When it becomes too big, they become one, and so the more of these implants you get, the more you know. To a point that you even know what other people around you are thinking and are about to say before they say it, which is a very dangerous and uncomfortable situation. Because sometimes you want to be, you know, just relaxing at a dinner with friends and acquaintances and just having a fun time on a nice summer night, and you're on a table with 20 people, which you consider friends and acquaintances and family and relatives, whatever it may be, and you know who's thinking bad things about you or whispering to their wives something about you, and they already know. So it's not a blessing, it's a curse. It's also a blessing because you're prepared to deal with certain situations before they arise. But yeah, anyway, You know about this.
Владимир Владимирович, сколько времени сейчас?
Сейчас без 20, полночь.
А у вас нет
Без
на
20,
руках?
12.
На руках часов нету?
Есть.
А на какой руке?
На правой.
На правой? Вы левша?
Нет, я не левша, но просто я люблю часы носить на руке так близко к запястью. И заводная головка, она, если на левой руке носить часы, она задевает кисть.
And so, then I knew for sure who I was. I already knew, but I had my doubts that I could be that person. But after that, it's impossible. Okay. And this happens life after life, not only with me, but with Danael and Gabriel. When you come 13, you know. There's no denying. And the sad part is that by 13, some of us already have dreams, you know. Some want to be doctors. Yeah, by 13, you have, you know, want to be an astronaut or a football player. You have dreams. All those dreams have crashed. Because suddenly you know you are. And I fought joining the cause for a while. I knew there was no way out. I knew because I knew who I was. But I fought because I really wanted, it was a dream of mine for a long time, to be an ambassador. I didn't care if it was of Portugal or Italy, because I have double citizenship, Portuguese and Italian. I want to be a diplomat. And fortunately for me, I continued my studies in high school, and I finished high school not with 100%. I finished with 103%. Want me to explain to you? I will. I don't know how schools work today in Portugal or in Italy, but at the time, if you finished high school, 12th grade, with 100%, so you have all the disciplines, 100%, and you apply for a university degree, of course, you start. That'll be law or being a doctor, engineering, architecture, but you're not accepted. You are not accepted to the school you wanted. You could wait another year. And that year give you 1% more. So instead of finishing high school with 100%, if you wait 1 year because you're not accepted to the school you wanted, next year you would have 101%. I did for 3 years. Still not accepted. And all I wanted was to be a diplomat, eventually an ambassador. One day, I was in this meeting, political party meeting, and the prime minister was there, and other ministers were there. I was involved in politics. It was in Portugal, by the way, not Italy, the Social Democratic Party, PSD. And I was talking with a friend, which was a member of not the government assembly, not the government assembly, representative of the political party in my area. And I was talking with him, and I was telling him, no, look, I finished high school with 100%. I applied to this course, which at the time was called International Relations. So you had to get in order to get into the diplomatic world and eventually become an ambassador, if you're good enough. No certainties, but if you're good enough. You have to take this course, this university course was called International Relations. And I said, look, I finished high school with 100%. What more can I do? But by the time, I already been waiting for 1 year, so I had 101%. Who can beat that? And he agreed with me. His name was Miguel Relvas. Miguel Relvas. M-I-G-U-E-L. First name Miguel. Second name R-E-L-V-A-S. Relvas. And he told me, I don't know. And he knew a lot of people up there, but he didn't. And we were talking back and forth, and then the minister, at the time, the minister, I don't remember, of justice or something. By the way, this guy is now in jail. He murdered someone. The guy I'm about to talk to you about. I don't remember his name. I'll find out. I'll tell in the next video. But he heard us talking. He came to us. This short, bald guy. And he heard our conversation. And he turned to me and said, literally, this was in the 80s. That means, hey, Zé, because this is in Portugal. In Portugal, I'm known as Zé. In Italy, I'm known as Dante, because I have double citizenship. But even in Portugal, more or less, 80% of the people call me Dante. In Italy, 100%. He said to me, literally, this is what he said. How many embassies Portugal has around the world? I didn't even know how many countries were in around the world. So over 200. Like, yeah. And he said like 230 something. And then he said, of those 200 and whatever embassies, how many ambassadors have children? I don't know. Kind of a guessing game is this? I don't know. And he told me some number. Anyway, he said, how many openings are for this course you want to, this university course you want to join, to take, which is international relations? Like, how many openings, vacancies? So I don't know. And he said 14. Every year, you know, if you want to become a doctor or an architect or engineer, well, there's thousands of openings. You know, the different universities, thousands or hundreds, I don't know. But for international relations, just to go through that path of diplomacy in order to one day, maybe, you can become a diplomat, an ambassador, which is what I wanted. So only 14 per year, at best. 14 per year. Okay. I finished high school with 101%. And by the way, I still waited 2 more years. So eventually I finished with 103%. No reason to be denied. And he told me, look, there's 200 and I don't remember the number, 230 ambassadors out there, Portuguese ambassadors. Half of them have children. That means over 100. And you think you can get into this? Is your father an ambassador? I mean, no. My father was a former mafia boss in Italy. But unless your father is an ambassador, you'll never get in. Never. There's only 14 openings for this course per year. You don't have the pedigree. Your father, we know who your father was. Mafioso from Italy, long story. Maybe I'll tell you this story. So you'll never get it. You can wait another 100 years. not gonna get it. I was pissed off, just about to punch his face, or grab a fork and stab him on his head. But that night, reality hit. Like, oh, okay, all right. Anyway, guess what? I was never supposed to go to university and become a diplomat or eventually an ambassador, because later I found out that was not the plan that the cause had for me. No. And so, a few months later, I joined the Special Forces in Portugal, in Italy, and then I served in Belgium and in other places, and I was in Africa, and I was in all kinds of places. So, I guess no matter how many years I would have waited, I would never gotten an opening. I would never be allowed to join the international relations course to eventually become an ambassador, which was my dream. But I did get in the special forces, and I became a big hero there. Because I've never been afraid of dying or risking my life, so that's why I became a hero there. Even today, my photo is there on one of the bases. I don't know. So, I don't know. Such is life. Maybe you can choose your life. I hope so. But I can't. And I've never been allowed to choose the life I wanted. Even if I wanted to be a taxi driver, they would not let me. They, the cause. By the cause, I don't mean the caristas. The cours are in charge. They would never let me follow my dream. I serve. That's it. I'm not allowed to have dreams, just missions. Even now, at 54 years of age, I have dreams. And you know why I have dreams? Because I've never fulfilled a single one of them. Maybe if I had fulfilled one of my dreams that I had in my life, maybe I could just relax and say, oh, at least I fulfilled one of my dreams. No, not one. Not one single dream. I'm not allowed to fulfill my dreams. I'm only allowed to fulfill my mission. And even though sometimes I get upset because I never fulfilled my dreams, I will never be mad about it, because I'm fulfilling something way more important than just me, this body. I'm fulfilling the soul and the goddess's plans. It is frustrating quite often. Very frustrating. Not easy. But, like I told my wife when she wanted to marry me, I told her, it's not gonna be easy to be married with me. It's not gonna be easy. I'm not the regular guy you can meet in the street or at the workplace. No, it's not gonna be easy. But it will be worthy will be worthy. There's no such thing as a perfect life. You know that. But there is such thing as a perfect mission if you fulfill it. Either way, you'll come back. You will come back. And every time you come back, you'll understand more and more and more about your purpose. Not your body, your soul, your mission. And if you don't believe me, just wait. Have a nice weekend.